was really young. My parents forced me to learn some instruments, so I learned classical trumpet when I was like 10 or so, or 8, I can't remember. But when I got older, then I switched to like electric bass because I was very into like new wave stuff, and then I played a bit bass, and then I switched to guitar because then I was like into post-punk and like post-rock and whatnot. And later on, like I played in several bands, but this was all like just after school stuff, and I mean the usual noise making after school, I would say. And in a small town, I mean I just lived in a small town near the Alps, which is in a island in a lake, and yeah, it's quite rural somehow, and it's hard to like get good records and stuff like this. However, then I went to Berlin like 10 years ago or so when I got older, and so I didn't had like bands anymore, and I started to make electronic music with like an Atari from a flea market for 25 German marks, which is about like at this time like about $10 or so. And yeah, so the whole thing started, and then I met some people from radio stations which also like had a show there, and so they played my music on this radio show, and yeah, that's how it started. And then I learned all the other people's like to know, like Thomas Morr and the people from city center offices. Yeah, and so yeah, that's in a quick way how I came to electronic music. You know, basically, yes. I'm pretty convinced that like people who like grew up with like guitar music and play guitar on their own and other instruments like acoustic instruments have a different appeal to laptops and to electronic music in general than people who came from like playing games on a computer to music. That's also what's happened very often, that people who just grew up with computers and playing games on computers, then they switch to electronic music because yeah, it somehow also like not very logical, but you know what I mean. And so I think, I mean, just use it as a media, so because it's possible to do certain things, to do music with a computer. And if I was a bit tired of 4-track machines because the possibilities are not that many, and I was very interested into like synthesis and also like design of sound, and so I dig there really deep into sound design and about like different theories how to create sounds. Like for example, there's something like called physical modeling, which can like model like flutes and other natural instruments, and you can do a lot of exciting things with like with just this one only synthesis model. And so yeah, it's from this view also very exciting, the whole electronic music, if you know how to use it. So I mean, you can also, today I'm a bit tired of electronic music in general because I think that the creation of electronic music became so damn easy, which is a good thing, but it leads to like fluting everything with medium productions of electronic music, and I'm a bit tired of that. So not that I'm like, I don't want to stand out, but it's just my impression that it's like this. Well, in the big cities, there are like often like, of course, like, well, they have seen many things, and so they often also just stand there and watch, because especially in Berlin, they're a bit spoiled with concerts, because lots of concerts are there, and it's quite rare that the people just are very just how can I say, in a super good mood. Usually they go out and they watch and then they drink. So, but like in Spain or Italy, the people are just like more excited about things, because it doesn't happen that often there.
Hello, my name is Fleischmann. We're tonight here in Boston at TNT and the Bears. And hello, yeah, nice to be here. Thanks. Tonight is our fourth night, and till now it seems that people are more. I'm looking for the English word. They are really more quiet in the audience than in Europe, and they're really listening, and it's very quiet in the audience between the songs, and it's a rather till now. Let's say static publicum, which doesn't move too much to the music, but listens very intensive. I think that's by example in Austria. I saw MS Jam sort of playing, and the crowd was much more louder, but they were moving and dancing and clap, but that's a bit of difference, yeah. Actually, I started to learn the piano when I was about 8, but always listened very much to pop music. So, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so I had all those 80s influences, and I still have at home some, I don't know, hundreds tapes of mixed, I don't know, hit parades or all the old charts and that stuff. And sometimes it's really funny to take one of these tapes and put it in, and there are so many souvenirs when in hearing it. That's great. But then with 14, I started to learn the drums, and since I was 15, I used to play in different bands, and with the last 2 bands we did really hard but very melodic hardcore, like maybe Husker Du or Dinosaur Jr., all that stuff. That's the music I grew up when I was about 13, 14, 15, 16. And I know that one of these wow records for me was the Bug from Dinosaur Jr. And since then, yeah, that really was this first big step to guitar music. And afterwards, I don't know, I went to the record shop where I bought it two weeks later, and then yeah, bought the Pixies and all that stuff. I think that I write some kind of songs which could also be played by a band, maybe with other instruments. So that's of course my what's the word? That's where I come from. You know, these songs very melodic with, I don't know, strophe, refrain, strophe, A, B, and maybe sometimes a C. Rarely, yeah. Working on tracks or pieces or songs that's very nice if you do that alone, because you have all the time and you can just do whatever you like. But there are some parts that you miss when you're playing alone instead of playing in a band. By example, by concerts, if you are alone on stage, you have all those, let's call them magic moments in the music for your own, which is great. But if you are on a band and you know, okay, 1, 2, 3, and now is the point, and you look in the other faces and know, you know, everyone else on stage is just feeling the same. That's maybe even more intensive, because if you're up there alone, you feel it on your own, but you can share it. Yeah.
I never sang with Couch. It's like because it's a totally different way of making music, and I think also the music is it's instrumental music, and we want it to be like this, like from the beginning. And I think it's, yeah, maybe that's why I started writing my own songs where I sing in, but I never thought about singing in Couch, and we all never did, because we are not missing anything. So it's just it's more, the focus is more on the single instruments, on playing melodies with an instrument. So maybe that's why. but I know him for a long time now. And we also played together in a band called Ogonyok in about 1995, a small band, and we started writing songs together at that time, and I was singing also, but somehow the band split up, and for a few years we all did our own stuff. Like I started playing in Couch, and I started Mission Soda as a solo project. But then, yeah, quite 2 years ago, we both had some spare time, and we always had the idea of making music together again. And then we just started, and it went really good, and that's why we really made Mission Soda a band, and yeah. And we also plan to make a new album and go on like this. Like playing in a band, it's always like different phases of doing something. So it's like 1 or 2 months of writing songs and recording stuff for one band, then playing live, and then you have some months free, or I don't know. It's not that difficult, because we all like to make music and make this as the most important thing. And so I don't know. Somehow it works.
It's not about saying yes and no. It's not about a stop or go. It's more about what is within and how you get there in your mental scene. And how you keep it as part of your truth, never to stop while trying to choose. Some kinds of decisions, some kind of discord, while often not conscious about others' reports. And do you believe and don't you forget how you conceived your thoughts of regret? It's not about saying yes or no. Standing in the doorway, you look at me outside, you're thinking
We played the first live show 1 year ago, so it's in 1 year there happened so many things. Like we had the possibility to play all over Europe, play the big festivals, and that's something I'm really happy about. And also having the possibility to play in US tour, like 1 year after really starting to play live at all with this band. That's something I'm really happy about, and I wouldn't say I'm nervous, but I'm really excited about it, and I enjoy it so much. And like the first 3 shows we had the days before were really nice, and I like to play here. It's really the best thing at the moment. I don't know. I don't want to always do the same thing, and I never have a plan. Like when I like I want to do this and that. Now it's never like this. I just start doing something and writing songs, and then see what I want to do with my voice, and if I want to sing or talk. I don't know, and it just happened. And I think it's like it's a good possibility to sort out like different styles and directions. And I don't know. It's always like doing something and see what it is like, and then you find a new way. And so I don't know at all what the new album will be like and in which direction it will go, but I don't know. We work on the songs as long as we really like them the way they are, and I like the combination of singing and talking at the moment. I don't know what what will come.